The show, the Elkem Sports, every Tuesday that runs from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's me, Kazay98, with my co-host. Yeah, today we have technical persons in the studio. You might be surprised. There are a number of them, quite a number of them, however much, some of them will be joining us later. So today we have technical persons in the football fraternity here in Masindi district, but also who have technical knowledge about football worldwide. So they are here, they are going to tell us very much, we are going to talk about very much in football, where they will give us and they will guide us in every activity that we'll be talking about. So very first, they will introduce themselves. Kutandikira on the left. In fact, they are all on my left. We are going to begin with the very first man who is putting on a coat, and that is none other than the next person to me. Master.
Yes, please.
So he's a master. I'm going to be calling him master, but he's going to tell us his real names. He's going to tell us his real names.
Yeah, thank you very much for hosting me in tonight's sports program. As they have told you that some of us are technical, and indeed we are technical, but first and foremost, I'm called Master Murongi Godfrey. I'm a person who has been in football fraternity for over years, and I think that's the reasons why he's saying he has got some technical people, both at the local level, at the international level. Thank you so much.
Why to Madina Education Center olirabye? Madina Education Center isomero muno. Mugenya karoraho kale likusikiriza muno.
Very football. He has all the knowledge in football. Let him first introduce himself.
Thank you for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alinaito Fred, commonly known as Coach Kajambia. I'm happy to be in this place.
Thank you for coming. Now, those are the people we have so far in the studio today with Elkem Sports. I've so far told you I'm Kazay98 with my friend Murongi Hamuza. We are going to sit here for 1 hour. We are going to roast everything about football, especially here locally in our district in Masindi, the neighboring districts in our region, Bunyoro, and we shall talk about the big league specifically. We also talk about the national football, where we'll be talking about the Premier League in Uganda. Now, the very reason I have hosted Master Murongi Godfrey here, he is a very good icon. We've grown up hearing about Murongi. He's going to tell us more about what he achieved in football. Most of us have heard about him. We've always seen him in town. He's being talked about. Say, hey, that man, yes, he reached somewhere in the level of football. We are going to ask him. Master Murongi, you were a good footballer, isn't it?
Yes, please.
How did you begin?
Yeah, you say in sports there is a saying that desire and courage has never been trained.
Desire and courage has never been
trained.
Yes.
But it is a passion. Rather, it is a passion. And to me, I believe my footballing, I could say it was inborn.
Inborn.
Right from childhood, I think I could be mixing. To an extent that sometimes I could get some canes for delaying to reach back home. Would remain in the playground, playing, training, especially at the Masindi Public, Masindi Prisons, and the main stadium. We had our teams. We had the Prisons team, we had the African team, we had Nyangaya, and we had the Army. That's how we would train up to the level when I reached around P7. I was a very small and tiny boy, but very intelligent via the ball. You give me a pass, I would know where to put the ball. From there, I joined Masindi Academy, where I was from my A level, from senior 1 to senior 6. Actually, the director of the school loved me so much because I had a lot of desire for the game. Actually, we were two, me and Kalisa Kenis.
Kalisa, yes.
That's how we would move. Whenever the team would be traveling, we would accompany the team, much as we would not be playing. I started playing active football, competitive football when I was in senior 5.
Senior 5.
Yes,
that's
please.
Also at Masindi Academy.
Yes, please. And I remember by that time, Masindi Academy was the team.
A giant school here.
Actually, in the whole of Western. I remember at one time we reached semi-finals. Those who can remember when we hosted here, and you remember what happened. And that is the time that we reached our peak. And that is the time I was a multi-purpose player. I remember I was playing number 3, I was playing number 6, I was playing number 11. And the game we had that caught most of the coaches' eyes, the coaches who had come to scout, was a game that Masindi Academy played against Palisa. Against Liantonde.
Liantonde, from Central.
Liantonde. I think I scored the goal of the tournament. I think everybody couldn't believe that cross came from Onenchan, from 7 to Fonmi, moving from 11 non-stop up to the roof. And that's where we qualified and met Gulu. So from there, people started asking, who is that boy? Who is that boy?
Murungi. So, that is Murungi for you simply. Now, Masa Murungi.
Yes, please.
That was the period where you went to the peak of football. You picked up very much interest in football at the early age in primary 7. Then by senior 5, you were at your peak and you went very high in football. Now, we have also had information that you've reached the level your national team. No Samba like and did you play for the national team or were you under that under team of the national? Is it called the Cobs? The Cobs.
Okay, it's very, very nice and interesting question and inspiring to others. That was the year 2000 when we had finished our nationals. In the whole of Bunyoro region, it's only me who was selected, who remained in the training camp of under 20.
Under 20.
Under the guidance of Paul Sally.
Paul Sally, I've heard about him.
Under the guidance of Paul Sally. And after that training clinic, still I was picked by Paul Sally to join either KCC or Idudi of Iganga. But he advised me as a person who had been in football for long, I wouldn't get a starting position in KCC, but rather, if I went to Idudi, I would be on the starting lineup. And I really had the desire to play by that time. So I opted to go for Idudi. We were sleeping around the Katwe, the clock tower. We played a number of games, and I think the game that sold me most was the game between Idudi and the Umeme.
So Master, the team was in the Premier League or it was in the big league?
It was in Premier League. Okay. We had 2 teams by that time from Iganga. We had the Iganga Town Council in Premier League, at the same time Idudi in Premier League.
So people outside there might be hearing some new names like Idudi. You've never heard about them, but that's also a team that has ever existed. He has told you that he's Murungi. His talent was inborn. You've heard about when they talk about the Brazilians, they say for us we are just born talented. They don't force football. So their talent is inborn. Equally, Masa Murungi is telling us. Now, Masa Murungi, after playing for Idudi, what next did you do?
Actually, that is when we had that game of Umeme. Actually, people thought that Umeme would beat Idudi around the 5-0 or what. But surprisingly, it was a 1-1 all draw, and we got a penalty in the dying minutes. Everybody shied away from the spot kick until our coach, the late Bogere, said, "Lefter, step in." And I went and took a very calm, soft ball. I sent Ibrahim Kongo in the wrong direction. So it is from there. Then after that, I returned back to Masindi. After returning back to Masindi, we were called for the national team. But at the same time, that is when I was beginning my career, my teaching career. And at the same time, I was in Kinyara.
Kinyara
FC.
Yeah.
So I had 3 things conflicting at the same time. I wanted to teach, I wanted to train. So with the Kinyara, I could not get time because they were training morning and what?
And evening.
And evening. However, I played some games for them, and I remember I was among the squad that promoted Kinyara to Super Division when we were in Rukungiri.
That was very early, 2000s.
2000s. So it is from there that when I said, no, let me continue with my profession. And by that time, there was a lot of segregation in football. If you are not somebody, a son to so, a son to so,
you wouldn't go.
If you are not a Muganda, unlike today, if you have a talent, you have a talent. You qualify on merit. But by that time, that's why you see even during our days, Luganda was the language to be used. I think that's why even truly.
So hiyo kuba no samba national team unakuwa no wazuru
actually when I was called on under 20, I was replaced by the son to the coach in disguise that my visa didn't come out. Go back to Masindi, we shall call you back. And that was the end.
So that's where your career came to an end.
I got disgusted. I said, now what is this? Let me continue with my profession.
Gave up, yes. So that's Masamurungi is telling you the challenges that he went through while going na kyasamba mupira wiro wongere yatandikire kusamba mupira ogono Masamurungi gwe tubayentu tukaguza abantu bakira abalahero ko murura mutawunawo nibuga tumusajjo gwagonza muno mupira so ensonga abagambire omupira akazarwa nago kandi abagambira nabwaki omupira gwaye gukatandika guta akatandikira nka yabagambira akatroningira muna public yao mbuyiro ndi mugumu master kajambia somesa kajambia kaira ako nakanaga nyoka ni nkyaburamu so Master Murungi alomwa abantu bemusobora kwenyumiriza mu district ya Masindi ano kila muno bitu byomupira is a very good calm person via football so is an inspiration actually from there amaze tugambira ebintu bibaire mu career yo gonwe Master Murungi abamacha tugambirege oba mupira akagutandika mwaka ki so even yona tabitugambire Master Murungi kusa tugambira mupira really okatandika gunyumiriza mu kaireki kenyini
actually mpira gwange kutandika gwenyumirizamu it was around 1997 that's when I would enter the pitch and people would feel my impact and I believed in myself because at one time I remember we had a game and I was sick. I had to play that game under painkillers. The coach could not do without me. I remember that was the late coach in Sereko. That's when I realized that really I'm a key player in the team, the squad. To an extent that by the time they were called to go to go and play in the Premier, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, in Masindi, I was the second person to play in Premier after Pastor Chibuka. If I'm not mistaken, after Pastor Chibuka, because I remember I was the first player in Masindi to play in Super League. He was in Post Office, he was in Health, he was in Miracle. Then I followed. The two people who would have followed us, it was the late Waswa, yes. Chairman Waswa, and Sunday Kafumbe. You know him?
No.
Kafumbe omusajja wa Kijurogo. It's
a Marvin Yonu wa
the father.
The founder of Kijura team ya Wagetawata. Yeah. Big spenders.
Yes, Sunday Kafumbe. Yeah. I think he's one of the best defenders Masindi has ever produced.
He also played in the Premier League.
We went with him. He went for training at Villa Park. Whereas Waswa went at Express. Wankurukuku. I may not on air tell the reasons why they left. Kafumbe said he cannot leave his family. He was worried of the family. Then the late Waswa, the training was so tense.
Yagamba.
So that's how they left. And some of us.
Okay, that is a very nice journey of football from Master Murungi. Now, where we are moving now, I'm going to bring in Coach Kajambia. Coach Kajambia, you're most welcome to this show.
Thank you very much.
Now, you call him Coach Kajambia. He's my OB, he's my mentor, he's my elder brother. We were with him at Kabarwana one time, I think. Yes. Now, Master Kajambia, I call him Master because he teaches football. That's why I call him Master. Now, Coach Kajambia, tugenda kuruga a Master Murungi, but now Master Murunga jakuba na tuyamba oga. Tukwenda tuwaze a 4th na 5th division. Nkaiwe muntu akwetegereza mpira gwa Masindi. Ogwekairemu almost over a decade now. Oli mu that technical part, especially nkumanisha oli coach. But you also played football at one time. Coach Kajambia season enu tituka having any game of either 4th division or 5th division. Tinuko mutaiwa ngamza. Coach Kajambia tukono tugambire. Iwe nkaiwe ngere okurura kiziukya kukereza mupira kwa Masindi kikuruganka.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. However, This question was supposed to be directed to the chairman Masindi District Football Session. But as a sports person, yes, it is true these leagues have delayed. When I was sharing with him, he told me one of the things that made the delay of the season to start, it was the delay in licensing. Most teams submitted their details late, and the payments were also made late. However, the good news coming in is that on 28th, teams are ready to start.
This weekend?
On 28th? 28th is this weekend? Next weekend.
No, this week. Because
it is this
Friday
week.
Is 20?
Yes, it is this week that the licenses are ready, so teams are in preparations. However much they have delayed, but we have hopes that they are going to start. That's the good news coming in from that side.
We have hopes of starting the 4th division this weekend. So
yes.
Everyone outside there who has been asking Nokaguzangu, waki 4th division or 5th division ekerere ensonga agitusobolera tusobole ensonga emwalezo atugambire delay in licensing. Then also teams zimuzika submitting details abasambi babo very late. Then Masamurungi iyo okusaa kuba ine ensonga bwaki okutekereza league enekerere coach Kajambia tugambire ensonga tugambire submission of details late, then also kukereza licenses. Nkai okusaa kuba ine ensonga bwaki okurura ngu really this 4th division and 5th division have delayed in the district.
Yeah, it's a very good question, but a bit technical. And I believe the right person would have been the competitions DFA or the chairperson himself. But I'll not deter from what my coach has said. Of course, when we had a meeting recently, one of the reasons was licensing. But now that licensing has been done, I believe everything will come traced. Tulinde bulinda ekiro kike teams is standing. And I think even the other aspect was payment of the teams, payments. But I think now as we talk, teams are responding positively, they are paying. So we have high hopes that the league will start.
Okay. So my brother Hamza, okay, we have high hopes the league will start most likely this weekend. That's probably on Sunday, that is 28th. The league, the DFA will be officially opening their league, that is say 4th division and 5th division respectively on Sunday. So every team that is outside there, you can prepare effectively from today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Hamza,
yes.
Tugenda kurugao, tugende hansonga ekwasire hansina iguru.
Kwasira katita oni yona.
Ekwasire hansina iguru. Kandi mtawange Hamza agenda kuwana atuyamba mu nsonga egi. Hamza.
Yes.
Oli hai na coach. Nyowe ndi hai na technical person mpira kwa Masindi. Hamza ngwendo wasonga gulize coach kikaguze eki. Ekyo ina mutima gwawe.
Ekikaguzo kinyina mutima gwange kiri coach. Abwire bono timu yaitu ya Boma ekabanisamba the weekend past Kasabiti. We experienced something that wasn't good. Tukabanza twalidinga omupira coach. But from nowhere outside abwatugaita. Coach wengero kurura the result is twikaren tufuna kikurugira nkaha buzibuki hatimu yaitu egyo.
Yes, that's why today we brought in 2 technical persons. All coach, all is a football manager. Coach agenda kuwana atuterekereza ensobeze zibayiniziruganga.
Want to start with obokurora a team ibirezo that is Black's Power and Boma FC. Black's Power is a better team. It has been in big league, it has been in Super League. Meaning one, it has experienced players, experienced technical people. So ekyokubanza kyabyona ikabanetukira despite the fact that they come away from home. But ekabanetukira. And they were prepared surely. Looking at how they have been performing, bakora kurun case in point. Their first leg bakatera Boma
away.
Bakatera Boma when they were at home. I think it was 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. So noranti ekabanetukira. And besides that, you see, abagiza heroko bagenda nibajone game day kurura buroro mpira for only 90 minutes. Baite win tefunika akire kyo kyenyinika ya match day. There is team preparation. How have you prepared? Injaro inazingaha. Do you have injuries? Have a starters abanda bakuyamba team? Besides that, how are the players prepared? Bali ready, are they fit enough? Are they mental okay? Habakuba, you see, mental fitness is very, very important. Basa kuija bali physically fit, but mentally, but are ready for the game. Case in point, we saw one of the players withdrawing in the dressing room. That was Wesley Kisache, which most fans didn't realize, in fact. So he withdrew from the team and he did not even put on. He didn't even play. He didn't even appear on the 18. Toksa kumanye kiabaire mu dressing room, but the information I'm hearing, one, they didn't have enough preparation, surely. Because looking at the display of the game, yes, they were leading the game. That was, I think, 3-1. And we saw in the last 20 minutes, or in the whole of second half, surely, their body language, they were down, they were not doing well. Twarora last 15 minutes to 20 is asembereyo. A team where in to puresinga to an extent that ekaruga enyuma yaikola izinga isatu kandi yafuna ne chance yokutewe gore zindi hali twarozere refu na tutasa butasa
aboja ba training ha ba training hamu.
So according to me, we didn't prepare for that game. Nikyo kurora tutaperforminge kurungi, and the team were playing, they prepared and they were on a better side. Given the level of maturity and their level of preparation.
The organization.
Yes.
That means they were very well organized for that game. Now, that is the coach, Boma. So the coach Kajambia. Coach Kajambia tugambi. Abana kuroi TV muranganyira, but to ogonwe coach Kajambia tugambire. The problem might have been caused by poor preparation. Timu ya Boma, eri timu yomukana. One time mkabanindira mpira gwa Boma, and that is Boma was playing at home against the Kigezi Homeboys. Where we saw ngabasambi akabawo musambi omugwenta kya kubaza TV yanu akaija match etandikire. Nikioleka nguri yale there is a problem behind. Kitu itwe kitakumanya chokani nibageza okora kisereka. Yes. Abasambi tukuba tuli yanu tugakura tukarura musambi na jaledi. Omoje angamba kaze yo boine mojogo abwakezire kikumaisa lekize mu team. Aizire team match day, imagine. Master Murungi bazo tugambe. Nkaiwe technical person kiki kyokurura muno kikusaka kuba wa.
Webale muno kusikira analysis yayo tugambire mu mpira ogo. Like the example you haire yo musambi yezire towards the game. Then a player withdrawing at the last moment. What is the problem? What is the problem? The problem is not the players.
Could it be technical?
The problem is coming from the top management. Why I'm saying so, if the top management is well organized, then you cannot have some petty incidences taking place. And all that will all rotate. It rotates around one thing, the welfare.
Welfare. If
the welfare of a player is okay, then blame the welfare the player for not performing. If the welfare is not okay, then ask the top management what could be the problem. I don't want to talk much about Boma, but I don't know who are the stakeholders
of Boma,
because some people are losing hope. Is it a community team? Is it a personal team? I could be knowing football, but I don't know the details. So I don't
how the team
think
is being run.
How the team is being run. But by the virtue of Tukurora Heavy, to me, I conclude that the welfare is not okay and there is a problem at the top.
Maybe technical team over the management.
You see, Bagamba, there is a saying in Samaki bebene junda etandikiranka hamutwe. So if the problem is there, kija kusirimukira kimuha mpaka hansi. May believe Boma has good players, but there's something needed to be addressed. Because when we almost lost that game, that's when issues started coming out. Some people, I heard them saying the coach is the 2 days to the game. That's when he's attending to the what?
The players.
To the players. 2 days to the game.
This means that they have not had enough training.
They have not had enough training. And how do you determine that so and so is fit for this system?
That means he should have been there. Abana were preparing choke team yogena kusamba preparing for more than even a week.
Just like
just
like the coach Fred Agambire. The other team, first of all, the team you are going to play, ekwinaho a better pedigree. Ekaire system. It is on top of you. It is ambitious. Emanyire hale kwenda agenda. So yikaije kozereki emalirire yetegekere. And that's why you see even when they considered the first 2 early goals, they didn't lose concentration. The coach never panicked. Omanyira raba coach of kutera goal ibiri. They and then inatanka kukora substitute. That man remained calm. He knew the goals were coming. And he knew at what time. So the only thing is, let's address our issues. Boma, it's not yet too late. When I look at the table, 1, 2, 3 points. Okusinga muzano gumu no guruke bikaro bisatu. Let's address our house. We shall get results.
Yes. Nuwo tuyikire na sports show ya lero, Elkem Sports. So nkugambire ke mbozi ya lero. Tujja concentrating muno so much. We are going to concentrate so much on local football. Very much on local football. And from there, before you go, yes,
I've heard Boma sacked their head coach.
That's where
I've not heard you talk about that.
That's where exactly we are moving to. That's where that is the most interesting point where we are moving to. Yesterday, tuwerega social media tulao. Tugezege kurura ekibarwani kiija from the management. Negamba ebarwe barege na kigamba avuze okusaga infunirao. Ebaire na some key points. Coach, the assistant waye, they are not. We thank you for your services, but we no longer need you at Boma FC. So, coach
their coach, termination of contracts. Ebarweba Inegamba, we bring you warm greetings from Boma FC management funds and the entire family. This letter serves to notify you that you have been relieved of your responsibility as a head coach of Boma FC. This follows a very long spell of poor performance that you have exhibited, coupled with your failure to commit to attend to club's training sessions, including last trainings as observed, even on eve to our match against Black Power that we went on to draw 3-3 after leading with a margin of 2 goals on 2 occasions. Your failure to give the club time and fulfill your obligations as outlined in the contract is an indicator that you don't value your job, hence the reason the club is underperforming.
Now, ebyo tibiri bigambo byaitu eribarua eandikirwe producer kusatulira baruwa ege nagibatera wao ebaruwa ege teri yaitu bigambo byaitu betugenda kubaza mu bisengeje kurungi ebaruwa talire tugiandikirege baruwa yandikirege management ya Boma, lack of commitment from the coach. Even prior to the match, they lacked training. Okitegereza coach Kajambia, we are very blessed that Coach Kajambia was one time a coach of Boma FC. Now let me reveal that one. We would see the commitment the man would put in. Other things I'm not going to talk them here on air, but I know personally in terms of finance and whatsoever. But it was tukimanyire that he was such a committed man. Coach Kajambia, egyo nsongemu nekintu kindi ijo tubayiregao coach Maka bamubingizi batu coach Maka bataka mubingizi tukaba tubaire tuli mu kisaayi n'olwangu ompira gwa Boma bibiro bino gulolewa abantu mbale bantuki mbale coach Kajambia okusatusobole awak ensonga ezimwa ezwayize take intake akire ensonga emu
nja kubaza ebigambo bingi muno obundi bitiyito ansonga eno kyonka abagizi always been the team okusinga
mazim
and we have testified that looking at the last season's performances One, we had increment in the fan base, but initially this season of course people will not come to watch a team attack sing. People want to have fun. People want results at the end of it all. True. I would say the decision that was made by the club management, one, they delayed to make that decision. This was an issue that would be seen even by the blind, given the mission of the club at the start of the season. The mission of the club at the start of the season, Nekaba, we want to go to the Premier League. Now, obutukuba tuli mu kyomunana right now, it means we lost that even before the end of first round. So I think one, management egenzere kuesueko bwire bukeire, but nevertheless they can still double their efforts kurora nti they come up with good working relations with the public, with the players, together with any new technical team that will come on board. Because looking at the matches that are remaining, tusigaze empira mukaga.
6 games.
If Boma wins 6 matches,
maximum of 18 points.
If Boma wins 6 matches, then bakuba ni bagenda mu Premier League.
Police FC aina point 8 akusingisa Boma point 11.
11 points. Yeah. That means Police aina closing a minimum of 3 games.
One, Boma sabutagenda as the top leaders. By 2, Premier League bakutwara basatu.
3.
It means we still have an opportunity kurora nti Boma yagenda mu Premier League. That's if the effort is doubled.
Ansonga ni ye Master Murungi. Iwe tuwe ensonga yawe, Awaki fans have drastically reduced via watching Boma games.
Yeah, thank you. Ekyokubanza, just as my colleague has told you, what brings fans? Results. Automatically results. If the results are not coming, don't expect to have what? The fans. But how do we get results? That is the question.
That is true.
How do we get the results? We are supposed to work as a team. We are supposed to work as a team right away from the management up to the community. You understand? If all those people get engaged, management ekakorogwayo, abazani bakakorogwayo, naito abagize tukakorogwaitu, we shall see results. And it is not yet too late. You will see fans doing what? Coming back. Had we won that last game, a little again to leadinga by 2-0, bajaba tugata baturabao benda no trouble. People were disappointed. I think it is my first time I saw people marching out of the stadium. But just like my colleague, the coach has said, itabagize to end the results. It is not yet too late, because I believe Boma has the quality of players that can produce results. Except we have to see what is the problem. Can in any case, if there is a problem, can it be handled? And results will be seen. And those 6 games, there are still many games. I just told you one game can change positions.
Okay, all right. Elkem television mwevale mnokutuoleza tugenda kuba tugenda in a short commercial break. Kan tujja kuba tugaruka, we shall also come by someone, we shall be joined by someone who has just come, and that is also a technical person from the Masindi football district football association, isn't it? Yes, Masindi sports officer. Thank you.
Mchara, why to Madina Education Center olirabye? Madina Education Center isomero muno mugenya karoraho kale likusikiriza muno owenkonki onu no hagenda kutandikira kusoma aja to mwana achayonka arayonka nasoma kandi nkugenda nokuzara yabandi basatu nabo basomera hano Madina Education Center abafe Madina Education Center ngotuseyo olabira ddala Madina eri eyo Middle East na yesomero liri wano Nyakibe Masindi Cup Road. Madina Education Center isomero ndigondeze lyabojo n'abaisiki na boarding primary school baina nursery section hamuna daycare section batirexi kala bana barahumuraga harume byokusanisa nka toys enungi muno ate primary section nayo ya mulembe nnyo abasomesa batendeke bulungi classes zesize nyini metron wali dormitories nungi zirimu n'emifaliso actually emifaliso bitabo kalamu wamu ne peni byonna bisangawo y'okusomero bya bwerere baina ne school van eyokutambuza abaana. Madina Education Center liri ha musinga gw'obusilamu bayitu tebakusorora ddiini n'abakrisaayo bakutangirwa school fees nizisoboka okwehandikisa ku kugenda omaiso aisomero eri kusangibwa Nyakibete mailo 3 okuruga Masindi town Hamasindi Kafo road bateerawo na special class eyokukwata ku Ruhana omutwe kubanga ebikusinga otera hasimu 04M4 5 8 32 69 rundi 0392 94
Mchara
waitu
Madina Education Center olirabye.
Madina Education Center isomero muno mugenya karoraho kale likusikiriza muno owenkwonki onu nohagenda oma
Aja ti omwana akyayonka.
arayonka nasoma kale
Madina Education
Center isomero muno mugenya kare kusikiriza muno owe no hagenda kutanga
ajja omwana akyayo
nka nasoma kandi nkugenda n'okuzala y'abandi basatu nabo basomera hano Madina Education Center
abafe Madina Education Center ng'otuuseeyo olabira ddala Madina eri eyo
Okay, mwebaleyo mu short commercial break egyo kugambira ensonga za Elkem Sports kyalero kintu baletere buli kimu kyona kimu kusobola kuba titukwenda mugenda ero ko mutandike kwekaguza kandi kinu kizirege kita kandi kinu kibaire kita kyalero tubaletere ba technical people. So from there we have been joined by another technical person, that is Master Isingoma Joseph, sports officer. That is sports officer Masindi district. Isingoma Joseph, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Nalo tujoiningire tubaye tuli mu kuramburura ensonga za Boma FC.
Ego.
Tubaye tubaza ensonga tubanze kubaza ensonga bwaki bafani bakendeire mu Kisaayi. Twabaza ensonga akibarua kyaje kizirege nikigamba coach Mark has been relieved of his duties. Sports officer. Kwenda nkayo otusobolere ensonga bwaki okutekereza abafani bali bakendeire mu Kisaayi abwagizi wa Boma FC.
Wabali muno waito omwanjizi wa program
yego
kandi kusaba munganyira kujja nkerere iroemo baitu kugenda point yo balize obikaguze cyonkagwize abafanzi unda bahagizi kukendero mu Kisaayi tukimanyire kurungi nti muntu oba atakusingura omuzano gwona gworum nti tofuna support because abantu bajja kunyumirwa abatandikize emizano eno munsi yona atali mu Uganda wonka. There are many objectives why games were started, mainly football, and one of the reasons was nti bantu benda oba kusemererwa kale kusemererwa mbiro bwabo wa free. So ati muntu araizire kusemererwa esasura 15,000 mutwaro gwe ye mu Kisaayi aizire kusemererwa bokuba timu ye koraki kusambe kusinga mpira beta ati baraba giteire iriya rasemererwa. So chikwa chikuru nagamba lero kankoreki kangende tinja correct tinja kuba nindoro timu yange nisamba kuba nubu kugende timu koreki bagitera butera. So basically I know it is because inti performance ya Boma tebere nongi yego.
So our dear fans of Boma FC, but also our dear viewers of Elkem Television, eginiyo songa waki sports office atugambira ngu abafandi babere bakendere mu team mu Kisaayi kya Masindi Stadium, especially abwagizi wa Boma FC. Now, sports officer
yego
ebarua ogiboinege
ebarua ingirozeraho mukutu ingirozeraho mukutu
tobaire omwaba ababaire abarua egyoba
nangwa abukuba
nangwa. So ebarua izegene egamba coach Mark amrelivingire tubaire tuna coach Mark antumurura
yego
timu ya Boma tubaire timu ekatandika tugenyumiriza tukyate buli muntu wena mu Kisaayi naga timu ya Boma eizire timu ya Boma eizire buli muntu wena nakolake nagenyumiriza atu nali ijo bugenderege kusoye kai tuna kibarua kage kisasa ina buli social media nikioleka ngu timu ya Boma emaze kwane ya ukana no mutendeki obwa mu coach Mark Twinamasiko ansongege tugenda ku bantu rugao wangu
yego
nkusaba akazi ndarako kampere Master Murungi.
Okay
Master Murungi tukaba hanu last month twina inter-school competitions za Uganda Secondary School Sports Association tinuko twarura etimu ezalabiro mu Masindi district akabamu Masindi Ame Masindi SS na Kabalega Secondary School bagenda representinga mu Kagali district for regionals. Nali tukubantu ruga tugenda komamu etimu ezigera representing aka nationals. So for every viewer who is outside there, the regionals we comprise of districts like Masindi district, Hoima, Kiyandongo, Bulisa, Kagadi, Kivale and Kikuwe and Kakumiro. Those are the districts that make up Bunyoro region, Bunyoro zone. So in football it is a zone. Now from there tukawa supposed kufunamu etimu isatu isatu nizi representinga Bunyoro zone in the nationals that were going to take place or that are due to take place in Masaka district, isn't it?
Yeah.
So ezo zaikiro kwa ebintu bya happeningire bitutaitegereze. So Master Murungi, he was a technical person on the USSA session, is it? He's on the committee. We need you to clarify us more. Tukwenda tusobolere kiki kyabairo.
Otyo muno muteekaniza ekyabuze ekyo kironge kandi abantu baikaino akihabuza muno what happened, what transpired. Ekironge mugenzi wange abasoboleye ndi a committee ya region ya USSA. It is true. To begin with, otubantu gendo mizana egyo tubane kinte kibeta screening. Screening of players. Kandi nkwetaga abahuliriza baku mpura lero mu kitwale kino from me that screening is not final. Screening is from the day one up to the day the team was bazikira nationals.
So
that means even at national level teams can be screened.
So ekyo kumanyisa like a team muramu screening today, it can also be screened tomorrow
in case if there is an issue.
There is an issue.
Yes.
My side can be screened all through the competition.
All throughout. Ekinkwenda kuihaho ombantu. Abakurugaye bakatanka ku blaming from the district level inyo muka screening abiki. I want to put it off. We did our part. Just that's why I began by telling you screening is continuous. Osakuraba get you kubanze yakabiro notasobolaki?
No, nekulema.
Nekulema. Now what in brief, what happened when we reached Kagadi? We screened as a regional committee. Teams atandika kusamba. We reached quarter level finals. Teams played. We went to semi-final level without any problem. That's why I began by telling you screening is continuous.
Did you play the semi-finals?
Tutaka ikirao. After quarter finals of boys, we had an issue of a match ya quarter final ya baisiki. I don't want to mention the schools which were involved in that match. Those schools niho zarugire ekizibu. Bakagenda kwesanga emu album yayo eri tempered with. So they had to go to the secretariat kutunga album eterekereire. So reaching there, good enough the person who had come from the USSA, they were supposed to verify all the teams, had just arrived. Yagamba no, let's begin from here. But andikira teams abesikabo. Bagenda kwesanga zinaki ekizibu. They halted those matches. Hati bagamba their teams going for semi-finals, boys. Actually, teams were already preparing. Referees had already gone to the various pitches. Then the committee said no. Let's now screen these ones. The person who we have been waiting for has done what? Arrived. Omusajja byagenzere kwatame team ina zona kasanga zine ensonga.
Zone.
Ina. And that's why we had to halt those games. We called in for an emergency crisis meeting. Mpako bire bwakeire. We tried to consult from top USSA, but with mageza agabu, we combined and came up with a resolution as a committee that no, the teams is emzane kozereki eyemereire. So that's how the games ended prematurely.
So abata bamwaero ko tukawura ni bagamba oda ekarugamwa RDC yagaba for the matter of security in his district, the games are cancelled.
No, you see, with the information, Ulioma are reporting Ankayendes. Me, I'm reporting as a person who was on the ground, as a person who is on the committee. Decision a team in Nakutasamba, it was taken as a committee, as a board. Then we had it continue with the girls' football semi-finals. So when we went in for the semi-final games, the crowd outside abantu bagamba emupira gwa bojo gukwa gutasambirwe. Ni abayisikiti mukoraki? Timugisamba. Hati RDC byarozere mberero how. Of course is the head of the security in the district. Yet the atmosphere could not guarantee those games to continue. So the games had to stop. Niho twarugire.
Then turugirao Master Murungi no kya ina kazi ndarako. Nkwenda turugana twetegere hizi. Tukaba waziti man on weekend on social media twarore kibarua. Kiesere kabalega hemu atimuzi ezigenda kusamba on nationals. Choka remember, if I'm not mistaken, Kabalega had lost a game somewhere against that is Masindi Army. Kajakita.
Yeah, that's why I was saying information, it depends how you package the information. Everybody is receiving information packaged in a different manner. Now, Otuamaziro empirege mazire kuba halted. What did it mean? It meant Bunyoro zone, we are not going to be presented. And what does it mean for Bunyoro not to be represented this year? It means as USSA, the top body, will not also sit and look on. Itabahabuiza bwakimta representing the team. One, you are penalized. If you don't represent teams as a zone, you will not pay fine, but you lose slots the following year. Twetwina slot says,
Exactly.
Meaning that there was a probability next year they would only give us one what? Slot.
Team ekutwara mu finals as zone.
Zone, yes. So when we came out, Kabarega as a team, by the way, let me speak it right here. Kabarega lost genuinely the quarter-final game, and they admitted, and I was the coordinator of that game myself. I was in charge of it. Bakalozinga, they conceded, and I think the person who beat him, Tinkibazanga Okubarihan, they conceded. All the OBs were there. I will not mention them. Baikiri zangu, but tulinde kiragaruka next year. But now when they looked at that loophole, by taking advantage, Nihabandi bagambire, we hear USSA sometimes gives the slots, can invite teams. Because it has ever done that. At one time in Jinja SS was invited on a special note. I don't know what considerations. So Kabarega had that hope. So they started pushing for it. Because Boba Kabarugirema quarter final, we had an issue in Kaba organizers, until the team is Zisambide quarter finals are Giramu quarter final. Nizo zikoleki. Zisambe. But other teams protested. They say it was as qualifying, we leave it at that. To Hagambe it is okay. So these people, Abandi Yabaye group Gamba, what about those ones which lost at quarterfinals? If they are screened and they are okay, Runda Himabanda Validate, they continue. But for us as a committee, we said we have played our role, we have reached our resolution, that is that. So they started pushing from the national. Now the letter which came, it did not come to Kabarega as people are taking, as people are speculating. No. The letter which came from USSA, ekabane gamba, a team ineza sambire quarterfinals. Zegarukemu zisambe tomorrow, which is tomorrow, Wednesday. They're supposed to have played tomorrow, Wednesday. Bakome Mwez, 3 teams. Now when that letter came and reached at the regional, the teams that were involved, Zavere Mkota, it was Kabarega, Buhimba, Kitara, and St. Mark, Malik. So after receiving that letter, Buhimba withdrew, said for us we are not ready. Kitara said we are not what? Meaning, yes, Garao team Zinga, then there was no need for playing. That means the 2 teams go to the slot direct. So that's how Kabarega has maneuvered his
Coach Kajambi has something to tell us. Coach Kajambi, what is your say on that?
I wish I would use this one because this question goes direct to Mr. Mirongi. I got an opportunity that I was there in Muhoro during this time where we had the competitions. After disqualifying the 4 teams that were in the semi-finals, the one who was operating the system of UNEB from the USSA was available on ground. Now, the committee opted to take on the 4 teams that were eliminated in the quarterfinals. Mr. Murung, is it true? Was that suggestion there? The committee was looking after disqualifying the 4 teams in the semi-finals. Now the committee had an option of bringing the 4 teams that were eliminated in the quarterfinals. But when they checked in the system using the other system of UNEB, they found out also the 4 teams that were eliminated were not clean. They also had loopholes. Is that true or no?
In regard to that, I don't have any knowledge about that, whether the teams were screened.
Good.
I can't
At least it was a suggestion that came up, because after disqualifying the 4 teams in semi-finals, then they looked at the 4 teams which were removed in the quarterfinals as the teams that were clean. Then people suggested that now that we have removed the 4 teams in the semi-finals, can we bring up the 4 teams that were removed? But then also the games teachers of those 4 teams which were removed were saying, can we also check in the system so that we verify and we call them on board? It is on record that they found out all teams had issues. That's why the committee could not continue with any other invitations to any other teams that were eliminated. At least this was on ground. However, I'm seeing the sports official also has an issue. Maybe Master Murungu.
Okay, in relation to that, my senior colleague is going to give some more remarks on that. What Mr. Fred is talking about is very objective and is very right. But as regards the teams that have been invited, it was beyond the regional level now. That's why I want to exempt the region where we are, because it came from the top.
National.
If that question would be applied to the top, as a region, we are not, at least there's where we stopped.
Good.
Thank you.
Then also sports officer, something to say?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
Me, just wanted to respond to my senior coach, Fred Alinaito Kajambia. You see, from the communication I saw on the social media, inviting the teams that finished in the quarterfinals. The first statement was they should write back if they want to really go and participate or compete at nationals. Then 2, if they confirm, then they present their files for screening. So that means maybe the other time they didn't really screen them as we were hearing on social media. So I want to believe that tomorrow, I think today is when they have been screened. So maybe if they find some students not qualifying and so on, maybe we are yet to hear the news again. Yeah.
Actually, that there are some teams that we are screened. I can give an example, the Lango region. When they screened them after qualifying, still some players were eliminated, but they left on the teams to continue.
Okay.
Maybe this is for future use, since we have the district sports official with us here. The time I've been in these USSA games, my request is, this is for future use. Next time when we are starting these competitions, it is better for us to invite those people from the USSA. Just like the way the region had done, it's only that the person came in late. It is for our own benefit and also to have a better organize the tournament.
Okay.
They come next year.
Okay, thank you. So that's what really we have been talking. We have exhausted, I think, everything in the local football here in Masindi district. However much we haven't talked about St. George FC, which is in preparation for the 4th division. It's a team that is rising up. Coach, what do you have to say about St. George, briefly?
Well, we can say we wish them well.
We wish them well.
It's always good to have multiple teams in our district.
Yes.
And that's what we want. Given that we are sports people, we are there to support and stand with whichever team that comes up with an aim of promoting talent in our district.
True.
Yesterday, St. George had a friendly game against Kabarwana.
Preparation match.
Yeah. It ended a draw 1-1.
Yeah, that's good. Master Murungi, what do you have to say about St. George FC?
Yeah, St. George is a good team that I've watched play, and I believe if they continue with that spirit, they'll move on from 4th division. They'll go further until.
Yes.
I believe they will be.
Yes, sports officer.
Yeah, you see, as a sports officer,
yes,
one of my roles in the district is to organize different sports discipline, and also to ensure that more teams come on board. So when St. George came, to me it is a plus.
It's a plus.
It is a plus, and I'm really ready, except I've not seen them in my office, because when they would come, the day they would come in my office, I would fully support them 100%.
True.
Yeah, but
So I'm very sure they're watching and they will have to come.
Yeah, and we are ready to support them because I'm told the zonos will be held in Kakumiro district.
Yes.
So we are very much ready to support the team. When it qualifies for region, we shall all celebrate.
But also teams that are in the 5th division, you can be preparing because the matches, we are very sure they will be beginning this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
See, that is 28th, so you can prepare for that and for those ties on the weekend. But now from there, we are going to move on to the regional league. That is to say, we are comprising of teams from Hoima, Masindi, Kiliandongo, Bulisa, and Kagadi, also Kakumiro, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the regional league is very interesting. Is very where we have some teams that are really showing a lot of energy. My friend Hamza, what's to Gambire regional teams?
Like table ya regional league bwile bunengere yemerere.
That's where the interest is.
Yeah, Twina Buimba Saints are table with 49 points, Karuguza United with 32 points. Okuro Rambu margin egyo Buimba Saints ina
a difference of 17
points. Nikimaanisha already qualifying for playoffs. Then Twina Bugo Leopards mu kyakasatu, Kiliandongo United mu kyakana, Boyale United mu kyakatano, Kagadi FC mu kyomukaga, then Dav FC timanyira kwa kitimu enu. Then Twinakirasa United, Nyakadoti United, Blue Stars Vuka, then Ruhuga Super Eagles.
So that's the table of the regional league in Bunyoro. Tuboine Buimba Saints really kwerisa nkuli. But the one thing I know about Buimba Saints, they are unorganized team. Very organized. Yeah. So thank you for that organization of the team. We are going to move on very fast. We are going to Kitara FC. Kitara FC.
Otaka gezera Kitara. Like twinao team yomukana yabakazi Lady Doves.
Through the last weekend, bakabaye nayo match against Renaissance bakora 1-0. They managed to win, but that Gafford. Bamalira basingire 1-0, but tukurambo team yategeka ina mu struggles nayo at this time because at one time ekatikirira onka Uganda for Champions League. Is it Champions League ya bakazi? Yeah.
Outside. Where they participated. I think they competed.
Yeah.
Bakasamba Kurungi, isn't it? They lost in semi-final. That's a very good competition. Then from there we are going to talk about Kitara FC. Kutandika na sports office. Kitara FC kawana match. Was it Friday?
Yes.
There was a drama.
There was a drama.
Drama, by the way, Drameno,
a chaos in Ugandan football. Because Vipers go back again, Nibagamba, Kitara, they are using Juju. I saw some TV show by hosting the coach wa Kitara, and people were saying about his rings, maybe Nizeti Namo Juju, like something like that. The story, Tindabigende Momono, because even me,
one of my friends, I think he's a footballer, was telling me that one time they were playing Amasaza Cup in Uganda. Busiro was playing Buddu. So Buddu threw something on the pitch. Then a captain of Busiro came to pick it. Did he move from there?
No. In fact,
abawochingira mpira ogwo nibagamba their captain Milton Karisa he had 3 intervals nafuna injuries but tunagamba takyarura
in that same match,
in that real match.
Sports office
That
okay.
Really for me,
do those things work?
Unfortunately nti mpira ogwo nyowe nkababize muno ntagurule so nkabibura buhura but me I have a belief nti ebintu ebyo tibikora goze na katito.
So Vipers ekwekwasa za busa.
Exactly, because really me I want even nikyorora no mutu oborwaire urundi bajanja biremere bagamba yukwikiriza kwawe once you have some faith usanga no kira wenka just because ibitekerezo babihumuire so toine kikutarabaniza mu bwongo mu mubiri and you no sango kizire so ebintu ebyo bibambye kukanga kutinisiriza. That's what I believe.
Master Murungi. Okibaza. Fine. Ekintu kyabayire hekyo. You see, football is played by very many things. One, remember when Kitara beat Vipers, Uganda Cup. they had to look for all sorts of excuses.
Trora,
piki ebibaireho. So as a team, yabere win. It had to look for all ways psychologically torture Kitara in the return game ya Premier. That's why warazere bateka hembeera ya security wate kinu na kinu. They wanted to stabilize what? Kitara, and indeed their plan worked. Then back to the issue of juju. As my colleague has said, even to be a juju evyo, it is, if you believe in them, they will work. But to me, I believe those things are not there. Those things are not there. If they were there and they were really working, we have countries which are known for those things. They will be African champions.
They perform well.
They will be performing well. What happens?
Bazitera.
So if you believe in them, you will get those results of believing in them. If you don't, we shall play our normal game. But to Aviona, we cover excuses. I think it was they wanted to cover the other shame after losing the other game.
Like there is an issue in that same match. Bakolekya captain wa Kitara aina kintu kya kuya Mompali. Like that is their main point nagamba refona inakyajwa ile Mompali bakimuisamu. So what was that if nikyo tukwenda kumanya?
That scuffle was there. You see, sometimes ompira kangambire gusingibwa bintu bingi. They wanted to bring that moment, that mind game, that moment ya disorganizing a team ya Kitara. They might have played their mind game. Katukozinga account cut. Much as I'm not refuting, if it was true, akwanya nyontabe mukisai. But even me at one time I remember, because it is not the first time I remember Uganda was playing Rwanda. When this player of Uganda Cranes was playing number 3 Vamwetagoha, Tabula, Abubeka Tabula. Caused chaos. Nambola, he was there physically. It took around 15 minutes. Mind the game. By to amavimbi yekabe mazirira ekabe tuteirira. So it can't work. So abantu bagenda basere bintu byo kwekwasizaho. But if, just as we said, if you believe in them, they work. If you don't believe in them,
Coach Fred
Ekimsa kubaza one behind success there are very many issues.
Yes.
Just like the way we
when
saw.
You succeed.
What I can tell you is Kitara has put on a surprise performance that no club expected. Start at the start of the season. So a lot of people have been wondering Kitara kikoreta kusinga mipira, but one thing I can tell them that Kitara prepared.
That's true.
Ekinkusaba gamba ebintu ebyo tibikora byakuba nibikora Kitara oba Bomas right now bakuba nibasamba cha CAF Champions League akuba bakuba nibasingaga every game which have not happened. So kakuba bibaye nibikora surely then twakubaire tuli okwo. Why not? Twakuba maybe between a team kaisatu mu Premier League akwa twakuba between all what it takes kurora nti twahikayo. So let's remain focused. Kani nkwenda gamba na Kitara tutaluzinga focus. Let's prepare for the next game. If we lost the 3 points at home against the Vipers, then we see how we get back to the winning momentum. Yes. And yes. I think they are playing today.
Yeah, that's Kitara.
The game is on.
Game is on.
No, is it today?
Yes.
The game is on.
Yes.
So they just prepare. Barole mulingo bakufuna obonero bondi. Otherwise ekyo kisatu tweteka hansi.
The game is tomorrow.
Yes.
Against Express.
Okay.
So, Coach Abagambire has told you that was Murungi has told you that was mind game. Coach Kajambi has also told you that the moment you succeed, expect a lot of things. But what succeeding, people will not talk about you. But the moment you begin going up, you expect a lot of talks. So, that's very true. So, amuzogenda kuba notusolera tebo ya Premier League ya Uganda kyalero eyemerereta.
Tukulola Bull FCA la tebo mipira 24 ina points 86, Vipers mkia kabiri mipira 23 ina point 85, Kitara mkia kasatu point 24 mipira 24 point 89, then Villa mkia kana point 82 mipira 23, Neki mkia katano point 8 mipira 24, Kampala City Council mpira 23 na point 38, Maroons mkia msanji point 38, URA mkio 8.3 Express mkio 9.32, Bright Stars mkio 10.2 Mbarara City mkio 11.28, Wakiso Giants .26, Wakiso Giants Gaddafi FC ina point 19, Busoga United ina point 18, then UPDF ina point 17. Arua Hill no buntagibazo.
So that's where we are with Ugandan football. So Ntwenda kumaliriza, we are really going to talk about something small about the international football. Today we have some fixtures that are coming up in the EPL, that's the English Premier League, where we have Team Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea. We are going to have some views from these technical persons who know what football is. They are going to tell us what they think of today's fixture. We have seen Arsenal was one time favorite to win this. Coach Kajambia, what is it? Arsenal was one time a favorite to win the English Premier League, and they are still favorites to win it. However much, they are on table with a game ahead of Manchester City. Now, today they take on fellow Blues from fellow Londoners from the Blues, that is Chelsea, at the Emirates Stadium. Sports officer, what do you think will come out of that game?
Before I talk about Arsenal Chelsea,
yes,
menda correcting mwana katoito mpira gwa Kitarana Express gwa nyinkia.
Gwa nyinkia.
Yeah, kusamba nyinkia wankulu kuku.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah. So Arsenal versus Chelsea. Mpira gwa amani muno. Okuba Arsenal
London Derby.
London Derby bono bali mu kibuga hagati yao. Arsenal ekwenda kuranti ehiriyo Man City igarukiriye aiguru kana Chelsea nayo fine mukutandika katandika kubi but wire bono Chelsea iri form kura weeks nkayibire nyuma ao ekatera Man U ekatera Man U so ikikore cyanti izire winning etandike etero kugaininga momentum. So Arsenal inakubanya igenderezamu abwensonga nti yo wire mu kono rala pressure according to me. Arsenal na pressure nto ito akwe inkizo ya mane kwenda koraki kwenyweze genda iguru
so bisagigaruliramu
ya sa kuterebuka ukatito anosanga ntola kolesize chances zona because we really Chelsea stay na kiamani muno ikia kubana rwanira apart from kuranti because already is safe. He can't be relegated. Ngeri ambali atandikire gwa kutemba butemba and izire na winning empira ye but kono Arsenal kora ne jure struggling girege kujya kutera no barabe gusingirege.
Yes.
Again,
we have seen that there is a way Aston Villa made Arsenal struggle.
Exactly.
There is a way Bayern Munich made Arsenal struggle.
Yes.
Then there is a way also Wolves was counter pressing Arsenal very well.
Kitekaombera so really ibena kwamba igendereza by to me nguru Arsenal sobora gusinga mpiro.
Ego. So those are ezo views sports officer Master Murungi game go give us a
game ya Arsenal Chelsea just like the sports officer said, Arsenal gets under pressure. It wants to maintain that the table. And when you look at Chelsea, it has nothing to lose. But being a derby, anything can do it.
Can happen.
Anything can happen. The results may go either way. But to me, Chelsea, if they come very serious in this game, they have some percentage. I'm not talking because I'm a Man U fan, but Arsenal is fatigued. Arsenal, the fact is sambile mipira nyingi, results murozira 11 zihira. I'll just use an example of yesterday's game. If you look at AS Roma and Bolgan, AS Roma, Ekigite Izageti was fatigued, and the people didn't expect, and they lost the game. So my prediction, either way, the game may go either way.
Okay. Then Coach Kajambia, tell us what you expect from the game.
Looking at the current performance of Chelsea, to kurorant Chelsea kasembayo kusamba Man City, a game etabaire nyangu of which bakabaina upper hand kurorant basingo mpira ogo. Only that it was not their day. So their current run, they are doing well. Just like how my previous speakers have said, Arsenal have pressure nyingi. And it's always bad kusambira mpira pressure. You make a lot of mistakes, ni mupapa hanu na hali, kandi opponent omukusamba atali ha pressure. But given the current form ya Chelsea, nkurora obonero ne bajja bagana. However much wadde Arsenal eri muka by to the current form ya Chelsea kandi n'abasambi bapikingire their form at their high peak, looking at the likes of Palmer bakora kurungi shwale. It should not be a shock to Arsenal fans mwina akigumira. You know, yes, these are facts which fans don't want to hear. By to niga mazima gagaro. Just like last time I was here Nyabagamba Champions League, tinku niile bintu birali batakurungi, so tinku enda mugambe nkozesa juju. No, these are facts nikie kiroho tukunira shwale. The best Arsenal can do tonight is a draw given the current run of Chelsea.
So all these people have said Arsenal and Chelsea are likely to share the spoils from Emirates Stadium. Yes.
The last match, the first leg was a draw 2-2 at Stamford Bridge.
Where Arsenal came from behind.
Yeah, then 3-1 Arsenal against Chelsea, then Arsenal 1-0 against Chelsea, Arsenal 4-0 against Chelsea. Those are the 5 matches, head to head. By two at this time Ngurambu Chelsea etebere munama golo kandi ina hapa handi okusinga mpira gonyowe ngurora mama golo nike kusaka kugamba.
They are game to go without a penalty.
By ati kutukurora players to miss, Colwill ina injury, Fofana ina injury, Gusto ina injury, James ina injury, Lavia ina injury, Nkunku, Sanchez, Ugochuko. Then questionable, Chilwell ni injury, Palmer in illness. For Arsenal, it's only
I think Palmer is going to be available.
I'm very
sure. I'm very sure. So and then another fixture that is in the Coppa Italia, with those are semi-finals. Lazio will be playing Juventus, and the Amzo you're going to read us the fixtures that will be taking place tomorrow.
Everton against Liverpool. This is a derby also. Manchester United against Sheffield United. Then utugena mu France Twinayo Lorient versus PSG. Twinayo Lorient against PSG.
Nakwendezo karawio.
Marseille against Nice. Then Monaco against Lille.
So tugenda kubantu sibura thanks for our viewers who have been there. We are going to be saying goodbye to you. Bazon Perez Sports Officer microphone. Bwarabaye na kyagamba arage in 10 seconds.
Wamaini mkusima muna Elkem TV guno kubiri murundi gwango kubanza kwijja hano mbasimire mwabale muno ku amplifying ebimizano notonole ne Masindi baitu mu region yetu yona amune hanga liona so bati kingwenda kumanyisa abantu nti office ya sports intekaniza yeina nti Masindi tukwenda kutandikaho ekituweta District Sports Council. So District Sports Council nijakuwa nejunanizibwaga nokutunura emizano yona ekataha mu ihanga. Actually in Uganda we have 51 sports disciplines, but tukwano Masindi hano ziri very active. Tuinaho football mainly, then tuinaho na netball izira masomero. So tuinaho community teams za netball. Tuinaho kuyiruka naho kuli masomero, tuinaho clubs nyingi, tuinaho apart from mwemi tuina vole mnatuina tusambazana baitu tiziri na yero bana batuinga mu ruhumura kabarega kuli secondary. So we're in the process of formalizing and association zezo zona nuko tu drafting constitution yetu ya Masindi tuwe na sports council district nuko tuongereria ku attracting abana baitwa bato na bakuru kubakipinga mizane kwa ukana. So ni ndaga nkwenda kubasima na nywene wale kutu hosting hano kandi no murundi gundi mugere mutu. Actually I will get time next time nje kwesabira nyinko buire tukuwenta and this time uba njumbu tuire game robajo, but I have a lot. So wire tulufuna tuligaruka hano tubaze bintu bingi mune kwatagana kombe koza nabantu baitu banakumanya muzana atubegenda tukaguza nti abakibantu nibarugwa mu Kisai boma bakwane isamba si really bantu bakwenda kusomesebwa nti mpira mbubino mburungi because inakubaho timu na gihagira. So ebi tujja ko tutungo buri tujje kubantu basomesa. So mwebale muno abekere ne baturora na tuulirize mwebale
Masamurungi neturaga
kwenda kubasima bokuhostinga. This is my second time being here kandi nkurora kwenda kubasima nkurora mugaze hireho. It is great kandi bintu bya sports straight roho tujja kuikara ntugambira the community what is taking place kandi halimura tuendezaga tujja kubaho. Then lastly me as a member wa schools USSA tinja kuruga kino ntakibalize nti amasomero gaitu ga Masindi na Bunyoro at large. I think it was a very painful experience this year and you know what caused that. Nyombere ni nsaba, we barely have only 1 month. Tujja kuba tugarukire mu bintu binu when we are coming in for ball games too. Kansabe twine ebitwegeremu this time let's present genuine students tutatunga ebizibu nikyo kimu mutyo muno kandi nkusabira the best team should win Arsenal and Chelsea.
Aha, coach Kajambia.
Mwebale muno kutuha omugisa guno kandi nkwenda kusima na colleagues bange mwebale kuija abwa kole eno kandi nsima Elkem TV for always updating people n'okusomesa abantu aheero okushuwale kumanya ebigenda mu maiso mu sports fraternity and sports family. Tukusima muno kandi tuongere. I'm happy. I want to congratulate you. Mwebale kufuna independence, mwafuna office engazi ekikare kirungi kino aipure tuongere tugaziha mu Ruhanga tutereho muhanda so that at one time we can have a larger and a better studio. Nebyoma na gadgets zindi maybe zikuservinga the whole of this nation. Tujja kusemererwa muno otherwise mwebale kutuwa mugisa guno.
You're welcome.
I learn to serve.
My brother Hamza.
Agreeing our invitation in Nyakana, especially Mr. Sports Officer, Master Mulungi, and our dear coach. Then in comments